I have been completely blessed today. I went to a conference put on by the Falkirk Center. It's called the Courageous Pastors Conference. And I was just so moved and so blessed in a way that I really needed to be, honestly, to prepare myself for the inauguration tomorrow. Liberty University was founded by Jerry Falwell Sr., as you all know, and he put forth the platform into the world that Christians and evangelicals need to get involved in politics, because God needs to be involved in every part of our life, including politics, but not just stopping there. And that's what this whole conference was about. It was about putting God in America. Putting God in America again. They talked about how we need to give God the glory for everything. And that's what's wrong with America, because we have started to put humanism. Humanism is taking over America. The idea that it's us. It's us that's doing it. We deserve it. We need it. It's a sickness that is going through America, and we are no longer giving God the glory and saying His will be done. His will be done in our lives. His will be done in America. His will be done in our families, in our schools. His will be done with us. It's about what we're entitled to. Not what God has given us. Not His will. And tomorrow we're going to sit there and we're going to watch Biden be president. But does that mean that this is over for us? No. Okay, Biden's president. Is it going to make it a scarier place to stand up? Is there going to be more talk about, hey, you believe this, you hate these people, you're intolerant because of your faith? Yes, they're going to say that. It's going to happen. But we can't sit there and be afraid. It's even more of a reason that we need to stand up and put God back in America. Because you know what? Yes, abortion is wrong, but abortion isn't the problem. The problem is we no longer give God the glory, and that is a symptom. One of the pastors said tonight that fear is stupid. We talk about the opposite, fear, as being courageous, but really it is just not being stupid. That's what he said. Because if God is in our corner, if God is telling us to go and do something and we're afraid and we don't do it, we're just being stupid, because nothing is stronger than God, and we know that. We know that. We know it for a fact, so why are we sitting there being afraid? We're afraid to stand up. We're afraid of the violence. But it's in God's plan and it's in God's will, and God be the glory. So you know what? If someone hurts us because we're standing up, then okay. Then that's what God's plan is, and that's what's best for us. And we know that, and that's what's best for God and His glory. And you know what? If we go out there and God doesn't want us to get hurt, we won't get hurt. So there's no reason to be afraid, because God still has His hand in it. Nothing's going to happen to us if God doesn't want it to. If God doesn't allow it to happen, because He has a plan of how that's going to unfold, and it's going to affect our lives. So I am so thankful. These are things that I know, but it was so amazing to be refreshed. And I'm so thankful for the Falkirk Center for giving me an opportunity to be there. So thank you. And for these pastors who are going to stand up, stand against abortion, stand against same-sex marriage. Because yes, they're people too, and we love them, but does that mean that needs to be what's in our country? Does that mean that's what marriage is? I'm going to stand up here right now and say it's not. That's not God's will for marriage. Now, we love them, and they deserve rights. However, does that make it okay? No, it does not. And that's okay to say. Because you know what? Our country was founded on God. Nothing less than God. And it is still in the fabric of what America is. And you know what? America is not America without liberty. And you know where the idea of liberty comes from? Pastor said it tonight. Liberty comes from the Bible. The idea of freedom is God's freedom from sin. He freed us from the bondage that we're in, and the idea of liberty that we celebrate in America is a biblical principle. It's a biblical principle. And that is the idea that our country is founded upon. So there is no America without God. There is no liberty without God. I'm blessed to go to a campus where that liberty is celebrated. And they are put together. The liberty of America and the liberty that God has given us is put together in one place. But as one of the pastors said, it's so sad that this is the only place. It's the only place. And even then sometimes we're not as strong as we should be. Because us in America has become tolerant and don't want to make anyone mad. And we're like, we're just going to stay in our churches. But we can't just stay in our churches because God's supposed to be in every aspect of our life. And you know what? It is more than just politics. It is the culture, and we are afraid to stand up to the culture. Because culture is the beginning. Politics is just downstream from that. This is what I learned today. This is what I took away. It is my words, but it was completely based on what all of these amazing pastors said today. They are all in the credits below, but all of their words were inspired by Scripture, inspired by God. So to God be the glory for this night, because that's what all I learned today. That's all you take away. Remember this: to God be the glory, not humans. It's not us, it's Him. That's where we're going wrong as a country. Thy will be done, Lord. Thy will be done.